Welcome to the BizBros podcast. My name is Kyle Nelson, and I have my co-hosts Eli Libby and Clint Payne with me today. We've got an awesome topic. Wow, that's loud. An awesome topic, and it's going to be good. How's it going, boys?
Doing great.
Good.
Excited to be here.
Yep.
As always.
As always, man. So what do we have today for the visual watchers today? What are we sipping on?
Oh, Profuse Juice by 10 Barrel Brewing Company, located here in beautiful Bend, Oregon since 2006, and bought out by Anheuser-Busch.
So if you're listening out there, 10 Barrel Brewing, we would love to be sponsored by you.
Mm-hmm.
And we will throw your beer in every single podcast and YouTube video. So today we have a pretty good topic. Like always, I always say that.
Yep.
It's e-commerce focused like usual. And last time we talked about, the rise to D2C, and this kind of piggybacks a bit on it. Yep. The topic today is, Amazon and Shopify. They are huge competitors, always trying to grab more of the market. And so we're looking at how Amazon is allowing sellers to be more brandable on their platform. So the fact that Amazon is slowly always coming out with these new features, I guess you could call them, abilities for sellers to showcase their brand more. Because as everyone knows, and as we talk about, is if you want to build a brand, you build it off of Amazon. Yeah. And Amazon is definitely starting to see that, especially with the rise of Shopify. So that would be the topic.
And Prime is really no longer Prime.
This is true.
Kind of. Having to wait a few days.
Oh, yeah, dude.
More than 2. And that's kind of why you bought into Prime.
Yeah.
True.
Free 2-day shipping.
Yep.
So, why don't, I think a good way to start this is, Eli, why don't you talk about when you were selling on Amazon, you had an Amazon storefront, and you also had your Shopify storefront. And at that time, which we're reversing about 4 years ago, what was it like to try to sell on Amazon and building a brand?
Good question. Yeah. A big part of the mentality of Amazon is it's kind of a race to the bottom where you're trying to sell the lowest priced product with the highest reviews on page 1. And that was how you sold on Amazon. Is you ranked on keywords, and if somebody was searching for snowshoes, you'd want to be the lowest price, and you'd want to have those highest reviews, good imagery, obviously, a good listing. But a good listing doesn't mean a good brand. And I think that was like the differentiator. So when if you got somebody to move from looking at the product and they wanted to kind of cross-reference, then they would jump into the branded side of the Shopify site. They'd see, the actual brand and actual story behind the brand, and then they would most likely go back to Amazon for that Prime, for that one-click buy feature. So. The storefronts back then, they didn't really do much. They didn't push them. They didn't really promote them. It was in the very first few months of launching them after that they gave you the ability to run sponsored storefronts. So you could actually run marketing and run these product listing ads to drive to your storefront, which was interesting because that was like, it felt like you were kind of doing like the Google search ad thing and pushing to your site. But now it was all native, and it kind of pulled everybody back into that Amazon ecosystem, and they can shop and browse a mini website within Amazon. So, let alone some of the other features that they gave you to brand, enhanced brand content, that was big. Infographics, obviously, like these different things to try to create the illusion of a brand on Amazon. But they're doing a really, they're really, really going after that branded methodology now. So.
How did you? I don't know. I think we all shopped on Amazon. I think I shop on it less now because of the time thing. I think now retailers, you probably did back in the day. I learned the whole abandoned cart trick, where you add something to your cart on the marketplace website on Shopify. You leave it 24 hours. They'll send you, hey, Clint, just want to let you know your product is still in the cart. Go to cart. Wait another 24 hours. You go back, discount. It ends up being the same price as it would be on Amazon. You're supporting the retailer directly. I think that there's something to that, and I think a lot of people they get that now. It's part of the brand. Like you're able to interact and engage with the brand, take advantage of those discounts and those incentives as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going back a little bit from what you were saying, so 4 years ago, 5, whatever it was difficult to build a brand on Amazon.
Totally.
And Amazon is finally addressing that, that.
Yeah.
And then piggybacking what you're saying, Clint, is there's no interaction.
Yeah.
Like you cannot, it's pretty hard to, I think on Amazon, if I'm buying something and I don't even think about contact, I know there's the contact seller button, but I automatically think there's no way they're going to get back to me through Amazon. I just don't see it happening. And so maybe having that interface, I'm sure they're going to change that. So what are some of the things that Amazon has done recently or in the past that is helping sellers brand better?
I mean, storefronts is huge. They're, like I said, they're mini websites now within Amazon. We were looking to do some work for our client the other day, and I pulled up an example of one that I thought was really good. And it was Samsung. And if you go if you click on Samsung's brand storefront, and if you don't know how to get to it, I think that's the one thing.
It can be kind of confusing.
That's the one thing that they haven't got to yet is the storefronts.
Sometimes it just throws you back in the search when you click it.
Yeah, or it drops into all their product pages or all their product listings. But where it says seller on the main listing, if you click on that, now it says and everybody's storefront below the brand, it says visit Samsung store.
Right.
And you click on that, and it looks very similar to like a Big Commerce or Wix or whatever, very kind of blocky, but
like a homepage of a website for a brand.
And then it has tabs for each of their, verticals that they're in. So phones, watches, computers, tablets. It has all of these different, pages essentially. And I think that's huge for Amazon and where they're going.
Yeah.
Is that, and then there's also their ability to add more videos.
Yeah,
that's
true.
New within the past year. You used to only be able to do one if you were registered, and now they open it up videos to you don't have to be brand registered, which is very new. So they're allowing people that aren't quite registered or have that brand equity still throw a video on there.
Yeah, I think I think enhanced brand content was like the very first thing that got people to think more about branding on Amazon. I think that was like the catalyst into moving into a storefront. I mean, you look at it makes you the credibility and the trust factor to go with a brand that has like this beautifully designed, good photos, good videos within this enhanced brand content.
Right.
Kind of the flow that it leads you down this funnel, and then hopefully back up into the cart button. That was the first, I think, kickoff.
Amazon's always been very, speaking Amazon, I feel like Amazon has always been very like product focused. And I think that's been like a part of like their growth problem. Right. Because you have like product day, called a tent.
Yeah.
Right. And this tent is a Coleman tent. Just thinking like big, CPG brand.
Yeah.
This Coleman tent now has like all of these different sellers. And I think that's been like
it's crazy.
It's been like the more complex thing I think for Amazon to battle with, because now Amazon's showing you the seller who's the cheapest.
Right.
Most likely the seller who has more products. I don't know how their algorithm works, but it's like you have this product that's really good, but then the seller who's like, maybe not so good. You never really know. How do you differentiate the two?
Right. All while Coleman dumped a ton of money in graphic design, photography, and video production, and that's just getting pushed to this other seller.
Yeah.
So there is this weird fine line of seller trust with Amazon. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that. Like
that's what I think of too when I shop on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be pretty careful to make sure you're actually supporting the actual company that you want to support.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think off that point, when you look at Amazon vendor services, which is when you sell your product to Amazon so that they sell it for you. A perfect point of that is if you're trying to support the seller, making sure that it is sold from the seller. A lot of the times it's sold from that vendor service.
Right.
And you're just giving money to Amazon, and you're not really supporting the brand if that's
Amazon just buys it cheap.
And then, Yep.
Another big thing that they recently came out with, I think it was a year ago. It was right before last holiday season. Was the branded
Sponsored video.
sponsored video posts. And
in-
it's still they're still implementing. You don't see it too often, but that's pretty big. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to really put your brand in front of the eyes while you're thumbing through the news or through the search. It is pretty eye stopping.
Yeah.
Typically they're pretty good branded videos. Yeah, that's a big one. They're
a
helping
huge one.
companies brand that way instead of really being product focused. A lot of them are brand focused.
No, that's definitely been, I think, huge.
And that's a pretty high entry. I mean, kind of thinking about it, it's a pretty high entry thing for a seller, though, in order to help brand themselves on Amazon. It's like they have to have the video already produced. I mean, I'm starting to see some, though, that are pretty like junky videos. They're just like little PowerPoint deals that people have been doing. So, but
from my understanding, it's higher kind of barrier to entry. That's higher costs per click to be able to advertise that.
I mean, it's
So even if they have
definitely an eye catcher.
Yeah, but I mean, even if they have a crappy video, as long as they pay to play, they'll still be presented there. And I do think Amazon started with a very categorical approach. So they started on a very, and they do this when they launch a new features. They do it on these certain categories. I still can't pinpoint what category it is, but I know that they do it in the, you click on the top when it says search all, but you can drop it down like babies and babies accessories. They do it in one of these categories as a beta.
I feel like the fitness, I feel like always gets things quickly.
Yeah.
And then home appliances always get it.
Like fridges,
all that type of stuff. So how about the new announcement with Amazon going into luxury brand stores? That's huge with branding.
Huge.
I mean, you hit that page. First of all, it's invite only for brands. Is it invite only for shoppers? I think it is.
Ooh, I think it is too.
I think it's. But it's from the screenshots that I've seen. I haven't personally been invited. Thanks, Amazon. But Bezos, dude. It's very branded.
Huge.
And you think about these deals that Amazon's doing with these big brands, like they are allowing you to be brandable on their platform.
Yeah.
But you got to pay to play. I mean, everybody knows that with Amazon.
Totally.
There is this kind of like prestigious, I think, the Magnolia of 2018 to forever, it seems like. And like the shift of spending money in like your renovation and thinking like, what's the number one room you're going to renovate? The rooms that you live in the most.
Kitchen, living.
So I think they've seen that like shift both in like,
it's true.
I mean, Chip and Joanna Gaines have their own TV network, not to go too off topic, but
they have their own TV network now?
Yeah. So like the whole home improvement thing is really blowing up, especially now that I think more people are spending more time at home.
Yeah.
Amazon's seeing that as like, okay, with that, there's going to be people shopping for this kind of category. Let's tackle that first. And then the secondary one, which I don't know if they've done yet, I'd say is jewelry. But personally, I'm a little bit apprehensive about like buying like a necklace for somebody.
I've never thought about buying like high-end jewelry on Amazon. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is cars. Like,
dude.
what are the big ticket items where they can really make?
I mean, they already sell them, but it's not pushed.
No.
Yeah.
If Amazon wanted to come out with the AmazonCars.com, they would.
Totally. But a lot of the brands that we search and buy on, they are Amazon brands. They're buying them. And they're brands. They don't just have Amazon basics. If you look at the list of Amazon brands that are sold on Amazon, it's probably brands that we think have these crazy names that are like super fancy feeling names. It's probably a direct consumer brand by Amazon.
Is there a lot of D2C brands that Amazon owns now?
Oh yeah. Not that they only own, but that they start and they go into these categories. You should check out some of the names.
Like very recognizable names.
Yeah, I'd say semi-recognizable, but like I know that they have this pet brand that's pretty well known, and you'd be like, oh, they didn't buy it, they started it, and they just did it directly.
So they're kind of
platform.
Yeah, they're starting to do the
Target method.
They're doing like
Target
vertically integrating
right
everything in Amazon.
That's crazy.
So with the luxury brand side, I think there's a psychological effect to branding and this like prestigious feel of like it's all invite only. I think it's also like that is branding. That is branding at its
100%.
core, right? It's like you want to feel something with that brand. people buy a BMW, people buy like a Mercedes, so that they feel this like inclusion in that club. And Amazon's doing the same thing.
So what is the? I didn't read too much on it. Maybe you read more. What is the benefit of being able to buy a luxury item on Amazon? Is it exclusive Amazon only products, or is it exclusive pricing? Why wouldn't I just go to their website and just? It's already name brand, like huge name brand companies that are going to be implemented in this. Like, how is Amazon able to pull off? Like, come to us for the luxury brand stuff. It's like, I'd rather just go to them, the brand.
I need to see what it is. I need to read more into it, but I know that
it's got to be Amazon exclusive.
Yeah, it is. There's certain brands, right, that are not on Amazon. You can't go and buy whatever the brand is. You can't buy it on Amazon. There are some brands like that. I think this luxury store, they are seeking out those sellers, like Oscar de la Renta or whatever is one of the clothing brands they brought on.
They're huge.
They're huge, yeah.
Yeah. But it's got to be exclusive.
But they didn't sell on Amazon before that.
Oh, they didn't?
No. So so they're pulling them into this like luxury
But like, who cares?
line.
I guess it's the ease of being able to shop for your favorite luxury brand on Amazon. But like, really, who cares?
It's worth, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know Amazon's trying to like hype and heighten their branding experience. But like, if you're already at that level of like purchase power, like, why do I care if you sell on Amazon? I don't know. I'm thinking about it right now. I don't know. It's weird.
I think it's the same mentality as it's because really at the end of the day, like commerce is commerce.
Yeah.
Retail has always been retail. You can get pizza from 1,000 places.
Right.
Where do you get pizza from? I think it's the same thing. It's like it's Amazon's take to the shopping mall where you can go out on a Saturday morning, spend 4 hours, and do all of your Christmas shopping, one place, one location. The only difference that I think Amazon's now bringing to the table is you can do it from your phone, your computer, your iPad, your Alexa. I mean, there's all. So I think
your Tesla.
It's almost like the same. It's like the same mentality. Like
I agree.
Like Westfield Galleria malls. Like they brought in the crate and barrels for your kitchen.
Some high end,
stuff. You might pay a little bit more of a premium, but it's like
I think
it's the luxury of like going to one place.
Yeah. And Westfield actually piggyback on that. They like partnered up with a lot of D2C brands. Like you can get there's like Purple stores there. Peloton. There's Untuckit's there. There's Peloton. There's that Lovesack. Lovesack is at them. Like they did. That could actually be a really interesting topic.
That's actually really good.
About how
we'll bring that one to
we should because every time I go to a Westfield, I'm like, oh, I didn't know this type of this brand had a store.
That's almost going.
Casper, I know, is another one.
Oh yeah,
that's another omni-channel.
Yes, it is.
Brick and mortar. They go from.
It's smart though, because I mean, I know that's going off topic, but when you really think about that model, they saw that that malls are dying.
Yeah,
and they're one of the largest. I know that, and they're probably like, let's bring it to the masses. I mean, you go to like Galleria, like in Roseville, it's still packed. It's like it's busy.
I think it's super smart. It's bringing products that people are scrolling through on their phone. Bring it
physically,
you can see it. That's huge.
And test it out, especially like
let's save that for another topic. It's
clothing, mattresses. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Yeah,
it's really
and we'll pause Kyle's mic.
The compounding effect of let's throw a brand out. If Amazon was to pop up one of their brands, I don't know what I don't think I've ever bought an Amazon brand. Maybe I have.
I'm gonna look up
the company. If you were to see that Amazon brand, at some point you'd probably have that trust in it, and you'd be like, okay, this brand is available. I can see it in person. I can see it online. It's back to the whole like, buying a car online.
Yeah,
I want to go look at it in person.
Yeah, totally. Circling back a little bit to this branding topic that we're talking about, let's talk about Amazon Basics real quick. Do they have any type of a brand around them at all? Like, why would you buy them? Why do we buy them? We buy these little like dongle things from Amazon Basics. Why do we do that? And why are they not going after like a storefront? Why are they not coming with a brand perception? Is Amazon storefront?
I think Amazon Basics has found the products that people do not care about the brand; they care about the price.
I agree.
The little dongle thing with my Apple MacBook, I don't want to pay Apple ridiculous
$40.
amount of money for that. I'd rather go on Amazon and pay $10. It's going to be the same exact thing. I don't even know the brand that it would be otherwise.
What if you dive a little bit deeper, because they are coming into to deeper verticals.
Yeah.
Desk chairs is one. I know that.
That's what we buy always.
Yeah.
I mean,
that, and then the last one is they're going a little bit deeper into like the outdoor adventure space. Like they're coming out with tents and sleeping pads.
Actually, yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I agree. It's actually interesting. This is kind of okay. So I looked up some of the brands. I don't mean to like stop what you're saying, but they bought Whole Foods, Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'm looking at food and beverage, and there's like some of these brands are at Whole Foods. Like, what a smart way for them to start a food and beverage brand, launch it in Whole Foods. Like, I don't know. Like Mama Bear's owned by them. I didn't know that. That's huge.
Well, and do the same thing we just talked about, like Untuckit and Lovesack, is they're going from online. They're bringing. Sorry, I didn't even touch your hand. They're going in from. They're bringing these food and beverage products that were on Amazon, and now they're bringing them into the storefront that they bought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
What else do they own?
They own Presto, which is a household
pasta
items.
sauce? Oh.
Nope. No, and they own Wickedly Prime, 365, apparel, May.
Wait.
Good. What?
365.
Yeah, they own 365 now. 365 brands, all the food. Yeah,
They've been around for.
May, Good Threads, which I've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
206 Collective, Salimo, Kitchen and Home Goods, which is easy to private label.
Yeah.
Saying that, well, okay, no. Pinzon, I don't even textiles. I've never heard of that. I don't know.
It's proof that Amazon is taking over.
They are. That was good. Actually, I just found like the official list, and it's at least 100 brands deep.
Yep.
Like they have.
No, look at some of the names of them.
Beauty
though.
Bar.
They sound
button
luxurious.
down clothing, beauty bar, basic care.
What was this? Let's go back up. Oh, never mind.
Arabella.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Camp Moonlight, Clifton Heritage. I mean, I've never heard of some of these.
So they have thousands of brands.
They do. They have tons.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're purchasing them and they find opportunity, but all the names, they're very like Good Sport, Good Threads, Happy Belly, Haven Outerwear. Like it's very like you get it, but Kid Nation.
It's like psychological.
It is.
With the word good.
Our company name.
It's specifically describing what it is.
Yeah. Results Imagery. Like it's all, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Basically, where you're going with that is branding, right?
Yeah.
They are bringing. They're vertically integrating.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to brand internally. They're using tools like storefronts. They're using tools like enhanced brand content to begin to brand these brands.
And who has the most data? However you want to say it. Who has the most data out there? Amazon does. Amazon. They know which brands exactly they need to launch and to just sweep out the dude, they're so positioned.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. So to wrap everything up, I mean, to come back to it, I don't mean to end it, but I'm saying to get us back on track and talking about like branding. The branding ability on Amazon now is better than it ever has been. And I would argue, I don't want to say it, but I would argue that you could almost do everything on Amazon now. Not that I would, I believe in diversification.
Yes, I do think so, but what I was going to say is almost a little bit opposite. I was going to say that Amazon, though, is purposely limiting the way you can brand on their platform to make sure they're winning. If you really think about it, like there's no like
there's one thing
you could do the storefront. Yep. You can do the storefront. 20% of people, 10% of people know about Amazon storefronts. That's it. But like, there's really not like a crazy ability. I mean, there's more ability than ever. Yes, I agree with that. But they are limiting it. They got hundreds of brands that they're throttling it to make sure that their brands are in front of everyone else.
I still think though that the brand decision process, because there is so many like brands and products and crap out there, you're still super, super limited on like who's like, where is the little verified check mark?
Right. It's true.
On Amazon. Like I'm waiting for them to do that.
That's interesting.
Dude, that is such a good point. Verified from Amazon
because right now
it's happening.
If you scroll through, you're going through, you may get to the bottom, like 3/4 of the way down, and you click on something and like in size 6-point font, it says sponsored.
Yeah.
Right. you're paying, like you as like a seller who's listing them, like you're paying a couple bucks for a person to click on that. But the psychological that they're really the only people who are doing that, because Google, top and bottom, that's where the ads are at. Amazon, they're everywhere. It's hard to tell which is good, which isn't good. I think that's the thing that Amazon needs to implement, is where is the verified seller for Microsoft that's selling this new Xbox?
Yeah.
I want to buy from him.
Right.
And I think their time to check out would increase drastically.
God, that's huge.
That is huge, because I would go to that seller.
And I would check out quicker.
Yeah, that's.
But then then the caveat is that going to reduce the amount of like ebbs and flows of like this lower level brand who's trying to grow? I don't know.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a good discussion.
But I do think, going back on that real quick, when like you're trying to buy like, for example, like a camera from Canon, there are a ton of different sellers of that same camera. And I think to your point, like showing that it's verified, I don't think that would actually diminish other sellers unless they're just taking the same product and reselling it. If you were to, come up with your, camera's a bad example, but come up with your own brand of tent, I don't think showing the verified purchase from Coleman is really going to like diminish other sellers. But I do think it would speed up. I do totally agree that it would speed up your decision to buy and your confidence and the credibility of that brand.
It's all about confidence.
That's
what I was just going to say.
Having that verified badge would keep me on Amazon, knowing that I don't have to go type in to my Safari browser, google.com, Canon, click on it, go search for the product, and then go buy the product. That's really all I want. I just want to know that I'm buying from like a reputable company.
Hey, at Amazon, hire us. We've got ideas. That's only one of about 10,000 we got. Okay, pal, Jeff, come talk to us, buddy. Well, I think that concludes this podcast. Absolutely. I think that was a great conversation. Build brands. That's what I think we always push is build brands. We're huge proponents of Shopify. We love Shopify. Build brands, and I think that wraps it up, boys.
It does.
Thank you for joining us. If you haven't yet, please follow us on Instagram at biz.bros. Check out our YouTube channel. We can watch this visually if you're listening on the podcast platform. Otherwise, we will see you and talk to you guys in the next podcast.
See you guys.
See you guys.